Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Teen Lines of Poetry Collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms. I'll leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Happy Wednesday, my friends! I'm so excited that you're here. So excited for this video today. We're changing it up once again because I have not gotten the prompts this month for the Top 5 Wednesday group that I am part of. So I thought it'd be fun in changing it up to get like a prompt for today that I would look at some of the manga challenges that are going on over on Instagram that some of my friends are doing. And the one that I was looking at that automatically was like sparking ideas in my brain was the one that is being hosted by Madame Manga, and it is called Mestina's Spooktacular Manga Challenge, I believe is the name of it. And currently for today's prompt for the manga challenge is kaiju or cryptids, I think. And so I decided to go with kaiju because that was the first thing that came to mind. Like I said, I got really excited about thinking about some kaiju manga, and I was like, I only know two that like instantly came to mind. So I did some research and I'm really excited to sort of share, I feel like, that are the top 5 kaiju manga or kaiju themed. And I did look up like what does the word kaiju mean. From what I have gathered, it means strange beast, and usually they are huge, they're monster-like, they are on a rampage, they're not usually like the good guys, so to speak. Not always is that true though, because for number 1, I of course had to do Godzilla, and I feel like for a lot of people, this is probably our introduction to kaiju and kaiju theme, like anime, manga, movies, all of it. I mean, we don't just have anime that has Godzilla, we have American-made cartoons, and we have real live action. Thankfully, there's no like actual real kaiju. But I also discovered that there is an actual manga of Godzilla, and like not just one, but like a variety of Godzilla manga. So I'm going to feature the latest, like most recent Godzilla released. I unfortunately don't know anything about it, but I wanted to do Godzilla because I'm like, I do have some pretty fun memories of when my family growing up when we watched some of the like older Godzilla films. And I remember, I don't think it was called Godzilla, but it was a cartoon that I loved watching. It had like I think it was like 2-3 kids, and they'd call Godzilla and he would help them by beating up the other kaiju. So I feel like in that cartoon, Godzilla was like the good guy. Now, I don't know about later movies or even the manga. I really don't know. But I mean, it's Godzilla and he's a kaiju. So I felt like he had to be featured today. For number 2, oh my goodness, I am pumped for this one. It is called Kaiju number 8, and woo! Let me tell you, this is one of the few manga title I started on Shonen Jump. I wasn't even done with the first chapter. Man, I was sold. I went and pre-ordered that bad boy. It was so good. So I didn't look up what it was about before doing this video just because I really love the premise. It's about a 30-year-old man who is part of the Japanese cleanup forces. So when basically the actual Japanese military force destroys these kaiju in this world, or in Japan, the main character and his workforce go and clean up the mess. So not exactly fun, and I thought that was a really interesting view and take on the kaiju manga theme itself. From what I've read so far, there's some backstory with his best friend, which was really good, and the premises though is that the main guy, he is going to turn into a kaiju, and I don't know how. I have not read far enough. Please don't spoil it for me if you have been keeping up with the updates on the Shonen Jump app. But the manga releases this December. Oh man, and I am stoked. Like this, the excitement I have for this manga is literally up there with Spy X Family, which is one of my favorite shonen manga this year. I just cannot wait to read this. I cannot wait to see like what they're gonna do. I mean, Kaiju Cleanup Force, man. I mean, what other manga titles are doing that right now? But let's go on to number 3, which is very different, and I read this years ago. I think it's been about 2 years ago, and that is Kaiju Girl Carminalized. Oh my goodness, this is so incredibly sweet. The artwork is absolutely adorable. The premise is that the main character, when she starts feeling, I don't know if it's embarrassed, but when she starts feeling, we'll just say lovey-dovey feelings for her crush, she ends up becoming this giant kaiju monster. And it is so adorable. Like her eyes have heart eyes. It is so cute. And the guy that she likes is so nice. He's so soft. soft and sweet to her, which makes it sort of like worse because then, you know, she can't feel anything, because if she starts feeling those romantic feelings and stuff, she knows she's gonna turn into a kaiju. And then you throw in like the comedy element where her best friend is obsessed with the kaiju monster. Can't say anymore, that might be a spoiler, but she is obsessed with the kaiju monster, and it creates interesting shenanigans. It is a very sweet manga. I really, really enjoyed it. I remember that was the first distinct time I had seen the Japanese fluffy pancakes and really wanted to make them. I love the whole manga, and I've actually really reconsidered picking it back up because I gave it away. I don't remember why. So many people have just said that the manga gets better and better, and the first volume was really good in itself. And like I said, the artwork, like having all the little hearts around this kaiju monster, is absolutely adorable. It is so, so cute, and I definitely recommend it. For number 4, sort of like Godzilla, I have to mention One Punch Man. One Punch Man has a lot of different kaiju creatures, monsters, humanoid, or like humans, I guess you would say. Just a lot of different kaiju up in that manga. I'm not going to like talk a lot about it because I know I did recently talk about it in another Top 5 Wednesday, but it is just, it's great. I love just the different things that Sayamada goes through in One Punch Man, and the different creatures that he faces, and how like these kaiju are like, oh, we got this, we're gonna take him down. Wrong, because you're facing Sayamada. For number 5, I have to give a little bit of a disclaimer on this one because this is a rated mature manga, and usually I would not feature a manga title like this, but I just could not resist featuring it today. It is called Terraformars, I believe is the full title, and you know, the covers are epic. Like, I have to give massive like shout out. The covers are really stunning. I absolutely love them. Though it does, like the manga does have some pretty hardcore violence a little bit. It's too extreme for me personally. But the reason I am featuring this today, okay, is because of the premise of the kaiju in this story. So the premise and the reason this is a kaiju themed manga is because the kaiju are giant humanoid cockroaches. I don't even know what to say, but whoever, not the manga, I'm not talking about the manga artist, but I'm talking about the humans in this manga. Whoever came up with the idea that to save the human race, they must mix a cockroach, like DNA or blood, with the humans to make the giant humanoid cockroaches to save humans. Who thought of that? Like, no, like, oh my goodness. So of course, you know, that doesn't ever pan out well. You know what I mean? Like, ever. And rightfully so, because they're cockroaches, you know, like, and the cockroach kaiju, they look a little bit weird. And they do definitely look a little bit creepy, and they're definitely buff and very powerful. And so it creates some, like I said, some interesting violent moments. But I wanted to mention it because I was super intrigued. I was about to say fascinated, but I was going to say super intrigued by the premise. And from what I'm gathering is that later on that the humans, of course, are going to have to fight these humanoid cockroaches. Obviously so, because, you know, like I said, things didn't pan out and their idea didn't exactly probably save the human race as they had hoped it would. And I also wanted to feature this manga title because it actually made me think of my writing partner's book that's releasing in November next month called Recorder. So very, very good. But there are, we'll just say, cockroaches in that. And so I was like, well, I'm going to feature this for Kathy because it reminded me of her book. And I'm just like, whoo. Cockroaches, I'm like, I could be done with them, you know what I'm saying? And that, my friends, are the 5 manga titles that I am featuring today that have kaiju or kaiju-like monsters. I hope you guys enjoyed these choices. What are some kaiju manga that you guys know of? Because I would love to know some other manga that have kaiju, because kaiju I think are pretty cool for the most part. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!